So here where Kingdom Hearts 3 left off with the characters being in the position where they were. I thought that it would be interesting to look ahead to the future Kingdom Hearts games that are most likely gonna be made really soon and count down the top 5 worlds I want to see in the future of the series. And no, I'm not talking about just like random new worlds that they could introduce. I'm just talking about future Disney movie world that I personally would really love to see be adapted into the Kingdom Hearts franchise. And yeah, I think that a lot of these worlds could be used as great advantages, and it would be just a lot of fun to see the Kingdom Hearts characters interacting with a lot of the other Disney characters. And so let's begin, I hope you all like this. Number 5 is Metropolis. Starting us off at number 5 is probably the world on the list that I really do want to see be adapted into Kingdom Hearts somehow, but it's probably the one on here that probably offers the least amount of possibility to the franchise. But it's not that. But that's not really that much of a bad thing really. But uh, out of all of these, even though it is probably like the least opportunity like I do think having a Metropolis world in Kingdom Hearts 3 could be a lot of fun. Again, like I say for a lot of things Kingdom Hearts related, hey, the best thing about it could just be watching the interaction between Sora, Donald, and Goofy with the world. So seeing them interacting with Nick and Judy would be a lot of fun, and seeing them seeing them interact with them and being a lot of it would just be a lot of fun to watch that happen, but also just a lot of fun to sort of go around because actually, given how massive the Indian Metropolis looked in the movie, I think it would be a lot of fun to explore that very world inside Kingdom Hearts somehow, and so making all that actually be there and actually have it where Sora, Young, and Goofy are actually helping Nick and Judy on the case would actually be a really fun idea and a really cool idea. And yeah, I personally think it would just be really cool to see that happen and just be a lot of fun to just see how they interact with everyone there. Number 4, The Incredibles. I think that your Pixar world were finally introduced in Kingdom Hearts 3. I think Kingdom Hearts in general should just try to take more advantage of that now. Cause yeah, now that they've done that, I think they can just take a lot of opportunities with new Disney and Pixar world. And for me personally, now that they've introduced things like Toy Story and Monsters Inc. of the Kingdom Hearts world, I think the next best idea for a Pixar world to be introduced in the franchise would actually be The Incredibles. And yeah, would would actually be a pretty cool idea because it could almost kind of be like it's a world where Sora could be really excited about teaming up with superheroes and really be excited and just be really happy that he's actually gonna be one. Like he could actually feel like he's sort of becoming one in a way. And hey, who knows? He may actually get a costume change in this world to make it look like he's actually wearing a superhero suit the whole time. The and the idea for the whole world is really huge considering there's a lot of ideas you could go with use for this because you could do things like them meeting them all meeting up and before it was meeting up with the Incredibles, that and maybe trying to uh find the other members of the family. And I think maybe in my opinion the best idea they could do for it could actually be the very end where the final boss could actually be fighting against Syndrome and the Omnidroid, which would honestly be really awesome and really a really great way to sort of show all of this, and it would just be again, it would just be really awesome, and I would just really love to see more of that world explored and seen a bit more. And yeah, I mean, The Incredibles is already an awesome movie, and I love it, and so having more with Kingdom Hearts adapted in it would already be really cool as well. Number three, Wreck-It Ralph. I think this may actually be really cool in the sense of like nostalgia-wise. And the reason I say that is because in Kingdom Hearts 3, Ralph himself was used as like like a healing thing. It was sort of like summoned in Kingdom Hearts 3, but they just sort of changed it up to make it feel unique. But one of the characters that you were able to summon was Ralph himself, and that was really cool. But I think for a future game, if they wanted to include a Wreck-It Ralph world, I think they could actually sort of set it in Sugar Rush, like they could set it in that world, like in that game, and I really like the idea of that. And I think when I said nostalgia and all that to kick in here, I'm talking about like how in Kingdom Hearts 2, when you went to some world, you were even able to meet characters who were summoned in the first game, but you were still able to sort of interact with them in the sense that they were friends with Sora before and they knew who they were, like Sora and Mushu. And so having that come back with this, like with Ralph, I think would be the coolest thing ever. Because yeah, just seeing Sora and Ralph interact, they sound really cool, and I would just really love the idea for that. And even then, just the idea of a Wreck-It Ralph world just sounds cool in general. Like maybe having things like maybe just have the whole thing set in Sugar Rush, and maybe you can help design it hard or something as like a mini game or something, which they actually kind of acknowledge in the Wreck-It Ralph movie that the designing your goat hard thing was like a mini game for that game, and so you can do the same for this, and it would be really cool in the climax when you're fighting, maybe when you're fighting Tintin, when he or Turbo as he shoots a side bud, and maybe he could also be fused with the Heartless as well, which would be really cool. Again, all these options are really that. Like you could really pick and choose a lot of them, and I would just really love to see a lot of these ideas explored in future games. Number two, The Princess and the Frog. Coming close to number one is actually the Disney World that I've wanted to see in a Kingdom Hearts game for the longest time. I mean, ever since I first saw the Princess and the Frog movie, I thought it would be really cool and really interesting to actually see a world like this actually be explored in the Kingdom Hearts game, and I still do now. And yeah, I do think that the Princess Before does offer some interesting ideas for the Kingdom Hearts game. For one thing, I mean the characters in the Princess Before are some of the best Disney characters I've ever seen in my mind, and so seeing the already great characters from that movie interacting with Sora and Donald and Goofy, I've said a ton of times already, I love the interactions in these games, but just be really awesome. And yeah, again, that's the main thing I would really love to see from this world. Just seeing how they would interact with them, and just seeing how Sora and Goofy could help them out through the predicament they're in with trying to get with trying to get to Mama Odie's house, and then trying to get back to New Orleans, and then having their then having to find out the truth about Naveen, and yeah, and then actually I think another thing that would be really fitting for this would have the final boss actually be the Shadow Man. And come on, his name is the Shadow Man. That's honestly the perfect choice for having sort of heartless like fight away. And that would just be really awesome if like he was sort of summoning a bunch of heartlessly guys and you just had to fight them off as you were fighting him too. When he had a huge one with him as well that you had to defeat in order to defeat him along with it. And yeah, that would honestly be really cool, and I would really love to see how the story of the Princess of the Frog would sort of play in Kingdom Hearts in general, which would just be super cool to see, like I said again. Number one, Moana. And finally, at number one is the world that I think would honestly be the most fun of all the Disney movies so far, in my opinion, Moana. Honestly, when I said in all the other options that I mentioned, yeah, it all applies here, but I think it had a bit more of an edge to them a bit more. So really, like I said, there's a lot of ideas for starters, like I said, for all the other ones, again, just the interaction between characters would be awesome here with Sora, Donald, and Goofy sort of arriving on Motunui, just as Moana is about to go off on her journey, and they agree to sort of help her out, and then they meet Maui, and then they have sort of travel along the sea to get to Fiji. And yeah, honestly, that whole traveling around the sea could honestly be a lot like how it was in the Caribbean in Kingdom Hearts 3, or maybe even in Kingdom Hearts 2, where you just had to pick a destination, and then, yeah, you just go there. And I, I would imagine that being really fun. There's a lot of ideas that they could use with these. Like you could maybe in the Kingdom Hearts series, the Hakamura could actually be possessed by Heartless, and you have to defeat a certain amount of them in order to get through, or even other things, like you could fight off Tamatoa when you go phase later, and then the final fight could be Hita, and just as you're making your way to Tafiti, and again, having all the sort of fights and all the different explorations of the world would be really fun. And yeah, you could even sort of be like you're sort of exploring a bit more, like you're exploring like the island of continually, like as you're just about to head off, and then afterwards you can just explore it all more, and you can find a lot more, and just having all these things throughout it, like again having both boss fights I mentioned, and then even just things like just finding, like you could even do things like doing a mini game where you have like racing and things like that, and just being able to go off and just go around wherever you want. And they could even add a bit more island to it that you may have to explore to get past, say like how you had to do back in Kingdom Hearts 3, like just in the sense like you just had to like explore all the world, all the islands, or like you didn't have but you had to explore like a fair amount of them in order to progress the story. And seeing all that inside Moana world would be really cool. Just how you explore everything and just have fun with all these characters and just be looking through it. And it would actually be really cool for Sora himself in the sense that now it's sort of like what he always wanted to do, in the sense that he's now sort of exploring the sea on a little small raft, and like what he was planning to do in Kingdom Hearts 1. And again, like I said a bunch of times, just seeing the different interactions could honestly be really funny to hear, like, wow, just knowing all the character personalities and just seeing how they all work off each other, and just seeing how they progress the story and go along with the journey would just be a lot of fun. And I think just having both boss fights I mentioned would just be a lot of fun, just seeing how they would invent different ways of how you would attack Titan and just defeating Kamatoa. Like maybe you could sort of flip Kamatoa onto his back, and then you could attack him that way, and then the final shot could be all of them escaping him as they were getting blasted up through the wall or through that. And yeah, I mean, come on, the objective of the Moana movie is to get the heart of Tiffany back to herself. Really, that kind of a good giveaway in and of itself. And just trying to do all that and explore the world would just be a lot of fun and really cool to explore. And really, I would just really love to see what they could bring to the table if they actually did decide to do this. And all that is why Moana is the number one Disney world. I want a Disney movie. I want to see a world in a future Kingdom Hearts game. And hello everyone, those are my top 5 Disney movies I want to see get made into world and future Kingdom Hearts games. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video. Please comment down below to tell me what you think, or even just tell me what movies you want to see as world and future Kingdom Hearts games. Please subscribe for more content like this coming soon. And I'll see you on next time. Take care.